Darnell Hillman was one of the first super athletic big men that the basketball world had ever seen. Even at 6'9", he was a track and field athlete, clearing a 7-foot high jump in college. After 2 years at San Jose State, he joined the Army, leading their AAU team to a title while winning MVP. Once he finished his military service, he joined the Pacers in 1971, using his physical tools to run the floor, crash the boards, and block shots. He eventually developed a nice face-up jumper and was an underrated passer for a big. His claim to fame were his amazing dunks, combined with his oversized afro that made for an entertaining sight during the games. Darnell won the first ever version of the NBA Slam Dunk Contest, but he didn't get his official recognition for 40 years. His impact lasted far beyond his career, as he was one of the first players to make dunking an art form, influencing several generations after him. Darnell was way more than a dunker though, as he had a solid role on a Pacers team that won back-to-back titles. Today's video will look at the underrated career of Dr. Dunk. Welcome to PZ Hoops, and let's get down to it. Darnell was born on August 29, 1949 in Sacramento, California. As he was growing up, thousands of hours running up and down the hills of his community gave him the strength to jump higher than anyone around him. At Hiram Johnson High School, he was the starting quarterback and he also ran the hurdles and high jump, but his biggest accomplishment to be on the basketball court. He was an all-metro selection and a local celebrity due to his extreme athletic ability. He had 20 college offers after his senior year, but he decided to stay close to home, committing to San Jose State. It was clear that he would be an impact player, as he averaged 15 points and 16 rebounds on the freshman team. Once he was on varsity, he joined future NBA player Kobe Dietrich to form a solid front court for the Spartans. They had a bad start to the season, losing their first 4 games in a row before beating UConn and Harvard. They improved a lot during conference play, going 9-3 to finish the season at 13-7. Although the Spartans didn't make the tournament, Darnell had a great sophomore season, averaging 15 points and 14 rebounds on 52% shooting, making the all-conference first team. Dunking was banned in college basketball during this time, so Darnell couldn't show off his best attributes, as he had to jump up and throw the ball in the basket. He also ran track in college, clearing 7 feet in the high jump, which still ranks as a top 10 mark all time at the university. After his sophomore year, Darnell left college to join the Army, but he was able to avoid going to Vietnam by playing for the AAU team. After he was the MVP at the AAU Nationals, several scouts from the ABA and NBA took notice. He also helped his stock by performing well for Team USA during the 1970 FIBA World Championships. Darnell was drafted by the Golden State Warriors with the 8th overall pick in 1971, along with being drafted by the Pacers as well. Since Indiana pursued him harder, he chose to play in the ABA. The Pacers had also drafted another dominant forward in George McGinnis, but since they already had Mel Daniels and Bob Niederlicky, Darnell would come off the bench as a rookie. He was brought along slowly before breaking out on November 30th against Memphis with 23 points and 14 rebounds on 8 of 12 shooting. He dropped 18 points, 12 rebounds, and 5 blocks on February 9th against the Floridians. He even put up a triple-double on March 12th with 10 points, 18 rebounds, and 10 blocks, which would be a franchise record for over 30 years. Darnell put up 13 double-doubles, averaging 7 points and 6.5 rebounds in his rookie season. The 47-37 Pacers faced the Rockets in the division semifinals, as Darnell had limited action in Indiana's 7-game series win. He had 3 double-doubles and shot 60% in the division finals against Utah, as the Pacers won in 7 games, making the ABA Finals face the New York Nets. Darnell played his role as the Pacers won in 6 games, winning him his first ring. After Niederlicky was traded to the Cougars in the offseason, Darnell was moved into the starting lineup in 1972, and he was steadily improving with more minutes. He dropped 18 points, 24 rebounds, and 4 assists on November 25th against San Diego. He surprised a lot of people, as he was better defensively than initially thought, as on January 20th against Virginia, he dropped 7 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 steals, and 9 blocks. Darnell also showed that he could pass, dishing 5 or more assists in 6 games. He finished in the top 20 in rebounds and the top 10 in blocks, as the Pacers finished 51-23 behind a dominant season for McGinnis. Darnell averaged 9.5 points, 9 rebounds, 1.5 assists, and 1.5 blocks, as the Pacers faced the Rockets again in the semifinals. He made 4 starts as the Pacers won in 5. The next series was against the Stars, as Darnell had 13-19 with 6 assists in Game 5, and 8 points, 13 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and 3 blocks in the series-clinching Game 6. The Pacers made the finals again, this time against Kentucky, as he dropped 17 points and 18 rebounds in Game 4 and grabbed 13 rebounds in Game 7 as the Pacers won back-to-back championships. The Pacers were looking to three-peat in 1973, as Darnell kept getting better. He put up 20 points, 15 rebounds, 2 steals, and 5 blocks on October 26 against Memphis, followed by a near 5-by-5 game on November 4th with 18 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals, and 7 blocks. He dropped 19 double-doubles and blocked 5 or more shots in 6 games. He finished in the top 20 in rebounds, 4th in blocks, 11th in field goal percentage, and 7th in defensive rating, averaging 9 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, and 2 blocks. McGinnis and Daniels both had all-star seasons to help the Pacers finish 46-38, facing the Spurs in the semifinals. Darnell dropped a double-double with 3 assists and 4 blocks in Game 2 as the Pacers won in 7. He put up similar production in the next round against Utah, even dropping 14-16 in Game 6, but Utah won in 7 and ended the Pacers' chances of a three-peat. After Mel was traded in the offseason, Darnell was moved to the starting center spot, and he had the best season of his career. He dropped 17-13 with 5 blocks in the second game of the season, followed by his first 30-point game on November 29th. He put up a season-high 33 points and 11 rebounds on March 5th. He finished with 37 double-doubles, ranking 14th in rebounding, 9th in blocks, and 13th in field goal percentage, averaging 14 points, 9 rebounds, 1.5 assists, 1 steal, and 1.5 blocks. George had an MVP season, while rookie Billy Knight had a solid first season, helping the Pacers finish 45-39, facing the Spurs in the division finals. Darnell played solid minutes off the bench as the Pacers won in 5. He played a lot better in the division finals against Denver, dropping 15 points, 14 rebounds, 3 steals, and 7 blocks in Game 2, followed by a playoff career high of 34 points and 3 blocks off the bench in Game 4, as the Pacers won the series in 7, making the finals for a third time in 4 years. This time against the Colonels, Darnell averaged 9.5 points, 11 rebounds, and 2 blocks for the series, but the Colonels would win the series in 5. McGinnis left for the NBA in the 1975 offseason, as the Pacers drafted Dan Roundfield from Central Michigan University, as Darnell would split power forward minutes with Len Elmore. He dropped 23 points, 15 rebounds, a career-high 7 assists, 2 steals, and 5 blocks on December 5th, followed by a career-high 6 steals in the next game. He also set a career high with 35 points and 16 rebounds on 58% shooting on December 28th. Darnell put up 28 double-doubles, finishing 15th in rebounding and defensive rating. Don Buzzi led the league in assists and steals, while Billy Knight had a career year, but the Pacers were pretty average, finishing 39-45 on the year. Darnell averaged 13.5 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and a block, as the Pacers faced the Colonels in the first round. He dropped 18 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 blocks in Game 1, but Artis Gilmore dropped 25-17 with 5 blocks to help Kentucky win by 11. He dropped 9 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 assists as the Pacers forced 26 turnovers to win Game 2. He put up 16 points and 7 rebounds in Game 3, but Artis dropped 27-16 with 9 blocks to help Kentucky win by 1 point and take the series. As Indiana began their first season in the NBA, Darnell was shifted back to center and he continued his solid play. In the 6th game of the season against Kansas City, he dropped 18 points, 13 rebounds, 4 steals, and 3 blocks. On December 23rd, he dropped 19 points, 22 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals, and 7 blocks. The only negative about his play was that he tried really hard to block shots, leading to him finishing 3rd in the league in fouls. He had 27 double-doubles, 13 games with 3 or more steals, 8 games with 5 or more assists, and 10 games with 3 or more blocks. New addition John Williamson put up 20 points a game, as Billy averaged 26, and Don led the league in assists and steals again. But the Pacers were pretty bad defensively and their offense was average, leading to them finishing 36-46, missing the playoffs for the first time in franchise history. Darnell averaged 11 points, 8.5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, and a block. This season was also known for hosting the NBA's first unofficial slam dunk contest, where the top dunkers from each team would compete during the halftime of their games. The finals of that contest involved Darnell and Larry McNeil of the Golden State Warriors, which took place during the halftime of Game 5 of the NBA Finals. Darnell had been traded to the Nets, but he hadn't signed a contract yet. Since he technically wasn't a member of any team, he wore a plain white tank top. After he won the competition, he wore a t-shirt of the Bottle Shop, a local liquor store in the area. According to Darnell, he could jump high enough to have his chest at the rim and kick the bottom of the backboard. And there were a couple people that said he could grab a dollar bill off the top of the backboard and put it in his pocket before he touched the floor. Darnell would technically be the NBA's first slam dunk champion, but he wouldn't get an official trophy for it until 2017. The Nets were a young team, led by a 21-year-old Bernard King and a 27-year-old Kevin Porter. Darnell came off the bench behind George Johnson. He dropped 28 points, 16 rebounds, 6 assists, and 6 blocks on November 11th against Chicago, and 27 points, 15 rebounds, 2 steals, and 2 blocks on December 3rd against Kansas City. He was traded again during the season, this time to the Nuggets for a second-round pick. as he was the backup to Bobby Jones. He had a couple double-doubles, including 15 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 blocks on April 5th against New Jersey. Across the two teams, Darnell averaged 11 points, 7.5 rebounds, 1.5 assists, and a block. The Nuggets finished 48-34, facing the Bucks in the first round, as Darnell put up modest numbers off the bench in the 7-game series win. The Sonics were next, as Darnell had similar production, putting up a double-double with 2 blocks in Game 4, but Seattle won in 6. Darnell was traded to the Kings in the offseason. The Kings had a squad that featured Otis Birdsong and Scott Wedman, along with Phil Ford, their prize rookie from North Carolina. Darnell would be the backup power forward behind Bill Robinzine. He put up 7 points, 13 rebounds, and 3 blocks in 23 minutes against the Clippers on November 25th. He dropped 16 points, 14 rebounds, and 4 blocks in 22 minutes against the Cavs on January 28th. He put up 6 double-doubles this year, as Birdsong was an all-star and Phil Ford won Rookie of the Year. The Kings' top 10 offense led them to a 48-34 record. Darnell averaged 7 points, 5.5 rebounds, 1 assist, and a block. The Kings faced Phoenix in the first round, and Darnell played his role, dropping 10 points and 9 rebounds in Game 5. But the Kings lost that game and the series. Darnell was waived in the offseason, as he wouldn't sign with the team until December 5th when he signed with the Warriors, the original team that drafted him back in 1971. And Golden State was led by Robert Parrish, Purvis Short, and Sonny Parker. Darnell had a limited bench role, but he still had some nice performances. He dropped 12 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 blocks on March 5th, and 19 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals 2 weeks later. Golden State had one of the worst offenses in the league, and they really didn't have the talent to compete, finishing 24-58. Darnell averaged 4 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, and half a block. He would retire in 1980 after 9 years in the ABA and NBA. At the 1997 ABA reunion, he won the biggest Afro award. He also got his jersey retired by San Jose State and now currently works as Associate Director of Camps, Clinics, and Alumni Relations for the Indiana Pacers. Darnell Hillman was one of the first athletic bigs to really put an emphasis on dunking. He could dunk with power and finesse, as he was extremely popular during his time with the Pacers. Unfortunately, it took way too long for him to get recognized for his accomplishments. Apart from dunking, Darnell was a very solid player, as he could rebound well, block shots, and hit the occasional mid-range jumper, as he was a good starter for several years, even on back-to-back title teams. He wasn't an all-star level player, but he definitely put butts in seats in Indiana. He deserves his credit as one of the first flashy dunkers in basketball. Thank you guys for supporting this channel. I really appreciate all the support, man. You guys are really liking the videos. I really appreciate you guys for coming to this channel. This is like a trivia question type of guide, because it's like, oh, who won the first ever NBA slam dunk contest? Of course, you're going to think back to like 1984. But most people don't remember that the NBA actually held a contest in 1977. People just don't remember that. And it's like, oh, I know a lot of people like, oh my God, his dunks are basic. Especially when he was judging the slam dunk competition. Like, oh, I have to look at these dunks if he's judging these dunks this way. Nobody was dunking like that back then. You know what I mean? Nobody was throwing it down. Nobody was reversing. Nobody was going beneath the basket, double clutch reversing. Nobody was doing that back in the 70s. That was crazy to them back then. You know what I mean? We've been spoiled by seeing guys like Vince Carter and Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine. And this is before Dominique and Michael Jordan even came in the league. So seeing a guy, especially a guy that tall, double clutching, reversing, throwing down, windmills behind the rim, you know what I mean? That was crazy back then. They didn't even let you dunk in college. They just started letting people dunk in college the year before. You definitely got to put some respect on the Trailblazers. Put respect on the Trailblazers that trailblazed the way for these future players to come in. You got to put respect on his name. It took them 40 years. That's crazy. I'm glad he got the respect he deserved, man. He definitely was a great player. He was a solid player, man. He was way more than a dunker, man. I'm looking at the tapes, man. This dude is nice. He played defense, he hustled. But thank you for the support. I really appreciate you guys. Leave a like, turn my post notifications on, be safe. I'm out. Peace.